Hi everyone, welcome back. In this video, I will show you how to customize the .NET MAUI DataGrid control by applying different styles. I will explain in detail about changing the default DataGrid style, font style, alternate row style, border customization, as well as how to apply the style to the inner elements such as record row and cell, header row and cell, and any particular column and alternate rows. I will also show you how to apply conditional styling to rows, columns, and cells. First, I open the existing MAUI application where I have pre-configured with the necessary grid namespace and added MAUI DataGrid control with data. If you want to know more about creating MAUI app and adding the grid control to it, you can watch the Getting Started video I've shared in the YouTube card. You can also download the Getting Started example from the link provided in the description. Now, I'll run the application on an Android emulator. As you can see, the data grid displays all the ordered data in the default style. Next, let's see how to customize the default style of data grid. For example, I want to change the background color and text color. To do this, define the default style property which contains all the APIs required to customize the grid elements. Then, set its row background to bisque, header row background to red, row text color to red, and header row text color to white. You can see that the header and record row is customized. If you want to write custom styles for properties in the Data Grid Style class using page and application resources, you can find the information in the documentation link provided in the description. Now, I plan to change the font style. So, within this Data Grid Style tag, customize the Data Grid header by setting the header row font attributes to bold. Header row font family to Times New Roman. And header row font size to 16. Next, customize the grid rows by setting the row font attributes to bold. Row font family to Times New Roman. And row font size to 16. Before running the application, remove the other properties used for grid customization. Looking here, the data grid font style is changed. Next, let's see how to apply the alternate row style. To do that, define the alternate row background property and set its value to light blue. To change the alternate row count, define the alternate row count property in the data grid and set its value to 3. By default, it is set to 2. Before running the application, remove the other properties. You can see that alternate rows are customized. To display the horizontal and vertical borders on the grid and header cells, set the grid lines visibility to both. And header grid lines visibility to both. To change the border width, define the grid line stroke thickness property in Data Grid Style and set its value to 4. You will notice the border appearance is customized. Now, let's see how to customize the appearance of the data grid and its inner elements using styles. Before that, comment the default data grid style changes. To customize the record cell, create a new style in the page resources. And set its target type to data grid cell. After that, add a setter and set its property to background. and value to light blue. Similarly, add a setter to the text color property and set its value to blue. Next, to customize the header cell, create a new style and set its target type to DataGrid header cell. Then, add a setter and set its property to background and value to blue. Similarly, add a setter to the text color property and set its value to white. You can see that the DataGrid header and record cells are customized. To customize a record row, create a new style in the page resources and set its target type to DataGrid row. Then, add a setter and set its property to background and value to light green. Next, to customize the header row, create a new style and set its target type to DataGrid header row. Then, add a setter and set its property to background and value to red. Before running the application, comment out the existing DataGrid cell and DataGrid header cell styles. Notice here, the header and record rows are customized. Next, I will show how to tailor the appearance of a particular column. For example, if you want to customize the order ID column, comment out the DataGrid row and DataGrid header row styles, and uncomment the existing DataGrid header cell and DataGrid cell style inside the resource. And set these keys to custom cell style and custom header style, respectively. Otherwise, you can create a new style. After that, define the cell style property in the order ID column and set its value to the resource key, custom cell style. Next, define the header style property and set its value to the resource key, custom header style. Save these changes and run the application. As you can see, the order ID column is customized. Now, let's see how to customize the style of the individual cells and rows based on our requirements. Before starting, remove the cell style and header style properties in the order ID column. To customize the DataGrid row style conditionally, create a new converter class named ColorConverter. Make this class public and inherit the class from the iValueConverter interface. Inside the convert method, create a new variable named input and get the value from the order ID. Add a condition to check if the input is less than 1003. Then set the value to bisque color. If the input is less than 1007, set it to light blue. Otherwise, white color. Once it is done, go to the main page XAML and add this converter to the page resources with the key ColorConverter. After that, uncomment the DataGrid row style and comment out other styles inside the resources. Now, change the background value by binding the converter to the resource key, color converter. You can see the data grid rows displayed in different colors. If you want to customize a particular row based on the row index, navigate back to the color converter class and get the row index value from the data row. After that, check if the row index is 3. Then set the value to light blue color. Otherwise, white color. Next, go to the main page XAML and get the row index of a specific row by binding the data grid row as the source object in order to pass a value through the converter. Notice here, the third grid row is customized. To customize the data grid cell style conditionally, open the existing color converter class and modify conditions by checking the value is less than 1006. Then set the color to light blue. Otherwise, white. Now, go to the main page XAML. Uncomment the data grid cell style and comment out other styles. Then, update the background value of the grid cell style by binding the order ID to pass a value through the converter. And set the converter to the resource key, color converter. Before running the application, remove the text color property and the resource key. You can see the data grid customized. In case you want to customize a particular grid cell on its cell value, navigate to the color converter class to customize the background color. Here, comment or remove the previous code changes inside the converter and gets the cell value. After that, check if the cell value is Thomas Hardy. Then, set it to light blue. Otherwise, to white. Now, go to the main page XAML. Here, change the background value to binding the data grid cell as the source object in order to pass a value through the converter. Notice the customized grid cell here based on its cell value. Now, let's see how to customize specific cells on a particular column. For example, if you want to customize the background color for specific cells in the order ID column, go to the color converter class. Uncomment the previous code changes to customize the background color when the order ID is less than 1006. Then remove the remaining code changes. Next, go to the main page XAML. Here, change the background value by binding the order ID to pass a value through the converter. Then set its style key to custom cell style. After that, define the cell style property in the order ID column and set its value to the resource key, custom cell style. You will see that the order ID column is customized. If you want to learn more about conditional styling for the data grid rows and cells, you can find the information in the documentation link provided in the description. In this video, I have shown you how to customize the default data grid style, how to change the font style, alternate row style, border customization, and how to apply the style to the inner elements such as record row and cell, header row and cell, and apply it to any particular column and alternate rows. I also showed how to apply conditional styling to customize the rows and cells and how to apply conditional styling to a particular row, cell, and column. If you want to see a working example, you can download it from the GitHub link provided in the video's description. I have also included a link in the description where you can check if you qualify for our community license, which gives you a free license key for our entire .NET MAUI control suite. If you found this video useful, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to our channel to watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.